defeated the Allies with 0 ships and 1 plane. Hi, how are you? This is Sandstorm here, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. Today I will be showing you an overpowered strategy I've created for my favorite Central American country, El Salvador. We will be using all DLC except La Resistance, and we will be using the Formable Nations mod as always. Quick note before we start, I apologize if you can hear any background noises. I have to have my air conditioning on these days because it gets quite hot in the recording office. So without further ado, let's begin in a new single player game in the 1936 scenario. Scroll over to Central America and choose El Salvador. Historical AI focuses and regular difficulty both turned on as usual. Now El Salvador is special, and the strategy works for El Salvador because they are fascist. As you can see, they are 100% fascist. So you could also make this strategy work very well for the Dominican Republic, who is also 100% fascist. Let's begin by going through the notifications on our top bar. Research slot is available, so we're going to go research support weapons 1 and paratroopers 1. We have a free civilian factory, so we're going to build another civilian factory. For our national focus, we're going to go with army effort. We're not going to train any divisions for right now, but we will group all of our unassigned divisions into one army, and we'll get a new free commander. For production, we start out producing basic infantry equipment, so I'm going to have to cancel that and put all of our production efforts towards creating one transport plane. We're now going to scroll over to Europe, which is quite a long ways away, and ask to join the Axis. As soon as we unpause, we will be allowed into the Axis. Now we're waiting for 50 political power. We also need to be moving our army to a fallback line in Germany's airport right here. It takes them quite a while, so the sooner you get this done, the better. We now have 50 political power, so we're going to justify a war goal on France. This will take 250 days. Our national focus army effort has been completed. Let's go start getting the industrial effort national focus. The Rhineland has been remilitarized. Now, since we're in the Axis and justifying on France, France will stack all of their army along the Maginot Line on Germany's border. Our first 2 divisions have arrived in Germany. Since we only have 5 convoys, we can only be transporting 2 of these larger divisions at one time. We've completed support weapons 1. Let's go research infantry equipment 1. We've completed industrial effort. Let's go down and do armament effort. We've completed paratroopers 1. Let's go over to the land doctrine tab and get the mass assault doctrine for only 94 days. Now, since we completed army effort, we have 5 army experience, and since we completed paratroopers, we have a paratrooper battalion in our recruit and deploy menu. Let's go make a new empty division template and add 1 battalion of paratroopers. We'll tag this as a parachute division, make it elite, and call it the exploit division because we will be exploiting the game with this division. Now let's change all of our existing divisions to this tiny template because we need as much infantry equipment as possible, because we're going to need to deploy 3 more of these for this to work. We now have enough political power to change up our conscription law, which we will do. And 1 transport plane has been created. That is enough for what we need to do. Let's go put all of our production effort towards basic infantry equipment. Our training has also passed 20% completion, which means we can deploy them early. And let's transport them out to the fallback line in Germany. Since these divisions are so small, we can transport them all at the same time. We've completed armament effort. Let's go with armament effort 2 and assign the extra military factory to basic infantry equipment. We've completed infantry equipment 1. Let's go for construction 1. And now we have outdated equipment in production, so let's change our weapon production over to the infantry equipment 1. We've completed the mass assault doctrine research. Let's go get electronic mechanical engineering. Now our troops are about to sail right past France, which will give us intel on where their troops are. So there's 1 French division in Brest, none in Cherbourg, 1 in Le Havre, none in Dieppe or Calais, and a bunch in Dunkirk. Duly noted. We've completed Armament Effort 2. Let's keep going and get Armament Effort 3. And we'll assign that extra military factory again onto weapons production. All of our paratroopers have arrived, and we have a little more than 10 days until our justification on France is complete. So let's delete the fallback line order and start painting our paratroop orders. Let's deploy our one transport plane in this airport in Germany as well. And since we only have one plane, we can only paint one order at a time. So let's start by painting one order into Tours. Our justification is complete. Let's declare war on France. Let's justify a war goal on Luxembourg, because they will get guaranteed by the United Kingdom, who is our next target. Let's activate our paradrop order and unpause. Look at that. France has capitulated. There we go. No divisions have died. Let's move our plane to Calais Airport. And let's move our paratroopers to Calais Airport as well. And soon we will get a peace deal. Let's take all states, except for mainland France and Corsica, which we will puppet. End the turn, and we're done. Now we have a lot of manpower since we own all of France's colonial possessions, so what we're going to do is use France's manpower. We'll use this default division and train up 22 of those on highest equipment priority. We only need to train them once, and we'll also train up 2 divisions for El Salvadoran area defense, because we only have one victory point. It is San Salvador, and if someone like the British take it, then our game will instantly be over. So let's set our location to be in El Salvador, and let's set France's location to be in France. Let's actually train up 24 divisions, because then we'll have a full army group. Let's unpause and wait for our justification to complete. We also have a lot of military factories, and we're going to assign them all to infantry equipment since we have quite a deficit, and we'll also import more steel from the United States. Let's delete the fallback order and set a paradrop order to Portsmouth. We'll be using these paratroopers as a naval invasion since we actually have no ships, and the British have about 200. And anyway, we completed a research. So let's go get basic machine tools. The French units are ready to be deployed. Let's deploy all 24. Create a new army, and I think it's worth buying a new commander. This guy is pretty good. Let's hit a fallback line in Cherbourg. We've completed electronic mechanical engineering. Let's go for mechanical computing. Our justification is complete, and as soon as our divisions reach this destination, and now they've reached the destination, let's declare war on Luxembourg. Now Luxembourg has been guaranteed by a lot of people, and 3 in our hemisphere, which is why we have our garrison out in case they decide to try and invade us. So let's declare war on Luxembourg. And all these guarantees should not be a problem because they will all probably join the Allies once we are at war with the United Kingdom. And since the United Kingdom is the only major in the Allies, once the United Kingdom capitulates, we will get a truce with all of them. So let's activate our paradrop order. We don't need any divisions on the Luxembourg border. Firstly, because they have 0 divisions. And secondly, because we are not going to call France in until we want to capitulate Luxembourg. So let's let our paradrop go. Unpause. And the paradrop has gone. let's transport our army of French troops into the United Kingdom to force a swift defeat. I'm going to request France's forces. I'm also going to request garrison support. And I'm going to use the French divisions in a new army, in which we will just walk into Luxembourg from the French border. Go. With our first division, we're going to try and capture this airport here, so that we can do further paradrops. With our next division, we're going to try and rush London. With our third division, we're going to try and take another port, which will be Dover. With our fourth division, we will attempt to take Bristol and Birmingham. And with our fifth division, we're going to run up towards Liverpool. Sixth division, we will also take towards London. And the rest of our forces have arrived, and they'll push the front line in a grand attack. And look, London is undefended because we border the United Kingdom in the Caribbean on some of these islands and in Africa, so they'll be using all of their divisions along our actual border instead of defending their own country. The British are going to capitulate soon, so I think it's time we call in France so that we can fight Luxembourg and take them in the peace deal. There we go. Luxembourg has been taken. We've encircled a British division already. Let's take this little area out here and this area over here, and let's rush up to Glasgow. The British are in Hull, but it doesn't matter. We've got enough victory points. About to take Manchester, and they will capitulate very shortly. Look at that, they capitulated. Is Luxembourg in the peace deal? Yes, they are. Alright. I think we're going to take all of the United Kingdom because we need the factories. And we're going to puppet the United Kingdom down here. And we'll take Luxembourg for ourselves. There we go, let's end the turn. We have taken the United Kingdom and all of their overseas holdings as well, so now we own most of Africa. And we have taken Luxembourg, and we have retained the United Kingdom's fleet. Now, let's pass a few times and satellite the British Raj and British Malaya, which are two amazing sources of manpower. Let's end the turn, and we're done. The peace conference is over, and now El Salvador owns most of Africa, Western Europe, and quite a few assorted bits around the place. We're not at war with anyone. We've got a truce with everyone we were at war with. I'd say this is a pretty good outcome for a small Central American nation. We defeated the Allies with 0 ships and 1 plane. Sadly, we are out of time for today. Be sure to tune in for episode 2 of the El Salvador series, where we will try and take over all major powers and possibly make it into a world conquest. Be sure to like and subscribe if you so care to, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.